This is a very special day for the Chamber and the Irish community here in the Bronx in New York City. One, because it's our month, the month of the Irish community. Right, if you're Irish or if you're Irish today, give a round of applause to yourself. But really, we're also honoring a dear friend personally, but also a friend to the Bronx in New York City, and we're really excited to do that. Loud. Loud, okay, loud. Yes, they can hear me nice and loud, just you. Turn the pack up. But before we go into the pageantry of today, you know, just a little bit about the Irish history here in the Bronx. We were exchanging some stories before about a movement to call this neighborhood Little Ireland, right? And the impact the Irish have had specifically on the Bronx, in the construction trades, in the politics. We have a lot of people in the room who are politicians or who want to be politicians, so we're grateful for that. But when we reflect on the Bronx and our history, particularly among the Irish, we're grateful for where we were. We're grateful for the struggles that we went through. I was reading a history last night, and just about how the Depression had impacted the Bronx and our people here. And there were stories of, I think all of us have them, of kids running down the stoop and playing in abandoned lots, of, you know, you scraping together and making, you know, fairy houses in mud pits. And for my family particularly, you know, my grandfather was a garbage man. He was the first dustman to own a private carting company in Albany, New York. My father was a construction worker. I mean, you can't get more quintessentially Irish than that, right? And it really resonated that just as so many waves of immigration have touched the Bronx and our economy, so too have the Irish. And we're seeing that now. And it's more important than ever that we learn from our history so we can grow from it. You know, America, particularly New York City right now, is facing an immigration crisis, much like many of our family members faced many years ago. We're facing a crisis over food insecurity, much like many of our families faced many years ago. And it would be a detriment to our future if we didn't recall that and make changes to transform our future and to educate those who were before us and those who will come after us. And I think that this evening is part of that. Yes, it's great for networking, right? I'm a big networking fan. If you're a business and you have Instagram, change your Instagram, let everyone know about it. Social media, digital media, empower yourselves. It's the cheapest gift we can give to each other. But outside of networking, it's just really important that we're here and we gather to just reflect on our history and our passion and on what the Irish have done for the Bronx and New York City and the United States, and to really see how we can use those lessons to push ourselves for the future. So now, because I've butchered my notes, thank you. Ah, look at that, woo! I have the privilege to introduce my dear friend, Lisa Soren, who has, I think Lisa Soren, maybe? She's probably, yeah, maybe. She did an Irish goodbye. No. Lisa has championed the Chamber for the past 4 going on 5 years and has really been a testament to our growth and development. And, you know, when we were talking about what to do for this month in particular, Lisa takes events very seriously, but this one particularly very seriously because we're honoring a very dear friend of ours. So without further ado, I don't know whether she's getting a bottle of whiskey or vodka. Lisa Soren, our president. Lisa.
Every month or almost every month we come out and we do these celebrations. One, to get together with our members who we call family, talk about the businesses, what's happening, what's not happening, letting you know that the Chamber is here to assist you in any way that we can. Our job is to make sure that with everything that's going on in the Bronx, the jobs, businesses, contracts, everything stays right here. So we are here. I have an amazing team that are all sitting in the corner. Dolores, Tanisha, Kayshawn, Tony, Darry. Darry, you get a lot of compliments. Chanel is not here, and of course, Mike, who's now become my right hand, left hand, and everything else in between. So we will be doing the honor, calling up our honoree for a special honor, which I will talk about in a minute. And then we'll also be doing speed networking. Everybody hates when I do it. Just prepare yourself, I know. I promise I'm changing it up a little, because networking is all about getting to know the person next to you, not just about how the weather is, how's business. It really is about what services do you provide that we can use, what we do that you can use, and combine, because these networkings are about getting contracts and about working with each other and knowing everything that's available here. And we have some powerhouses here today. Give yourselves a round of applause. So I want to speak about our honoree. Mike swears he's got me in check. I don't use paper or speeches or bullet points. I talk from the heart, and I mess up a lot.
This is new. This is a new thing.
I don't do any of it, because he gives them to me, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Now we keep multiple copies hidden everywhere.
But when you were talking about Irish heritage, as a Puerto Rican, I can't say I know a lot, right? But I will say, I know, I'll learn. Call us a Puerto Rican Irish. It goes more than just being proud of your culture and who you are. It really is about showcasing what you give back, who you surround yourself with, and how you empower those around you. And this person exceeds all those expectations. It really is about his community. It's about giving back. It's about friendship and fighting for those who need the voices. So this honor, I want to call it Mike Brady, who I adore. Come on out, Mike. He didn't know he was getting it. I know you hate me. That's okay. So to your commitment to Bronx businesses, your noble achievements and dedication to preserving the Irish heritage. Know that we love you, that we appreciate you, and the businesses are more the better for having you in their lives. Love you.
Thank you.
You want to say a word or two?
The Irish have the gift of gab, but thank you so much. Thank you to Lisa, the entire team, and everyone gathered here today. The Bronx particularly holds a soft spot in my heart. I had a meeting with a reporter this morning, and she said, well, how many years have you been there? And I did the math, and I said, 23. In the South Bronx, 18. And the Bronx has definitely given me more than I've given it, but I still have some more time on the earth to keep on giving back, and that's what we're all about. So thank you.
So Rob knew I was doing that. So I have Rob's bio, and I'll read some of it. I know he hates all of this, but I'm going to speak from the heart for a minute, because I don't do this. I got an opportunity to meet Rob when I was the executive director for Westchester Square Business Improvement District. Exactly. He was the president of the Merchant Association. I did not know what a bid did. I did not understand the power or the need of our businesses in the corridor. Rob was the commissioner at the time, came to visit me for the first time, and just had a list. Like, are you visiting the businesses? How many graffiti marks do you have? What's happening on the second floor? I mean, he went down this entire list, and I turned to my chair at the time and said, I'm ready to quit. Who is this guy? But what's amazing is that during his time as commissioner, not only did they build so many more bids, and he'll tell you the number, and bids are important because, believe it or not, under business improvement districts, which are a private entity, like literally paid by property owners to invest in a long term in their corridors, you know, Rob built, I don't know, 10, 12 of them during the time under Bloomberg. And during COVID, the bids, businesses within these bids were the ones who actually did the survival, did better than most other corridors, which we try to support. And that's because there's this investment, personal investment in it. And Rob saw that vision and pushes that message out. He's a stickler for details. hated my website, hated my social media. I mean, there was nothing. Today, he's a professor at Columbia, and, oh, Janet, you know the deal, right? And before he asked me to speak with his students, the first thing I do is go check my website, and I go check my social media and make sure the spelling is correct. He's a stickler for detail, but that detail has brought our city, not just the Bronx, to a whole other level. And I can't tell you how appreciative I am of who this Rob Walsh is. He's a friend, he's a colleague, he's a visionary, and he is now the interim president for the Bronx Overall Economic Development Corporation, who is blessed to have him. The Bronx is blessed to have him. He's all about pumping business and money into the local economy, which is what we're all about as a chamber. Our partnership, I have our deputy borough president. She's here, and I told her she's not speaking because I asked her to come as my friend. So I'm keeping her off record today because I adore her, and during my time as a bid director, she was actually my contract manager through SBS. So it was all this partnership. The Bronx is huge, but it's also very small. It's about family, it's about support. And Rob is just an example of all of that put under one. So it is truly, so I'm not gonna read this. I never do. Come on up, Rob. It is truly my pleasure to honor Rob today.
Thank you very much. Wow. Thank you very much. Wow, look at this. This is wonderful.
Is it spelling correct? How's it going? Is it right? Is it shiny enough? 2023? Okay.
It has a hole in the back.
That's what I'm talking about. It's good, right?
And it's from the Bronx, right?
It's from the Bronx.
This is great. Thank you very much. You want me to take you?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Rob doesn't talk a lot.
No, I don't. I'll try to keep, Lisa, I'll try to keep this brief. Michael, I thought you were going to steal my thunder for a second. I turned to the president of College Mount St. Vincent. I said, I thought they were honoring me. Brady again? I mean, I know it's hard to find Irish in the Bronx these days, but this is really pathetic. I mean, Brady, I'm waving my hand. I know Fitzgerald is here somewhere. Where is he? Barry Fitzgerald? There's Barry Fitzgerald. Let's hear it for Barry Fitzgerald. I was wondering, the Bronx is the only place in New York City where St. Patrick's Day is celebrated for a week. Lisa, get it right. Listen to them. Here we go again. The Bronx is the only part of the mainland, Brian Anderson, right? Only part of the U.S. mainland, only part of America, right? Those others are little islands, right? Right, we're not an island. We're part of the United States of America. And Janet Piguero, the Deputy Borough President, I want to thank you for bringing me back to the Bronx. The rumors are not true. I did not get thrown out of Manhattan College. Tiana Sloan is here. She runs the Veterans Program. I've been hiring some Jaspers. I did not get thrown. I left. But it's nice to be back. It's nice to be back in partnership with the Chamber and BOEDC and looking to do all we can to make a difference with small businesses. And I got a great team that I work with. Raphael's here and Marshall's here and Luis is here. I call Luis the governor, a graduate of Cardinal Hayes High School. Very happy, very proud one. Yeah. Any up Hayes people? I just want to thank them because they've been terrific, and I truly want to thank the Chamber. And when I think of St. Patrick's Day, and I think the Irish and Michael talked a lot about the impact of the Irish, and Brian Anderson could do a seminar on this, of how much impact that they had. And we're here in Woodlawn, where there is still such a influence and impact. I quickly think of someone who we lost in this past year. And Lisa, I think of him being honored at Manhattan College before his passing. Of you and he waving with his red hair and his big smile, and the influence that he had on Brady and Soren and Walsh and so many others in this room. I think of Joe Kelleher. And if we could dedicate this day, if we could dedicate this day and we could dedicate this night to anyone, if I could hold this up, and anytime I have this up on my wall in my office, and it will go up quickly, I will think of Joe Kelleher because he not only had an impact on me, but so many others in his leadership of this organization. So tonight, let us dedicate our time together to Joe, and let's carry on his spirit. And his spirit, and what Joe was all about was we can make this thing happen. We could do things. We could work together. And that's exactly what's happening under the leadership of Lisa, under the leadership of Mike and the board here. So with that, I will close up because I want to go get another Guinness and say thank you.
Okay, so they're putting out the food. Could you tell I'm hungry? Because it's always about me. But we will be doing the speed networking in a few minutes after you get to eat. But right now I want to call up, as we were talking about Joe Kelleher, who I try not to mention as often because he was my mentor, a friend, and so much more. But I will say that we have a chairman who is kind, enthusiastic, smart, a partner in what we're doing. I know it's got to be hard on him, although we haven't said it. Everybody speaks so highly of Joe, and Joe was the face of this chamber before me. Now I'm the face. I told you I make it all about me. And it's hard to step in those shoes, right? Shoes can't be filled, but you start new, you start with a new vision and different energy, right? And so when Joe looks upon the chamber, which was literally, I have his last voicemail about make me proud, right? Those were his last words to me. He pointed to Anthony Mormile. And so I look to Anthony and I say, thank you. Joe saw something in you as we do. And I want you to come up here as we celebrate Irish heritage, although Joe was his thing. You get to be Irish today, sir. And I give him a huge round of applause as he takes the leadership of our organization to a whole other level. And we are so grateful for that. Anthony?
I thought Michael Brady was Italian, but I guess not.
Puerto Rican.
Next year.
Yeah, and I want to thank Lisa for all she does. Her team is a great team, and they do a great job, and they make me look smart. That's not easy to do. I want to congratulate Rob Walsh because I don't think we could give an award to anybody who's more deserving than he is for what he's done for the Bronx, the city, as a commissioner, and what he's doing with BOEDC. And I want to tell you, Rob, personally, in front of everybody here, including the borough president's office, we're behind you as a chamber. We're going to make the Bronx a better Bronx and move it forward. And I want to tell you, Joe Kelleher has been my hero. He always was. And I could never shine his shoes. I will try my hardest, with all my heart, to make this chamber a stronger chamber. But with the team behind me, with a great board, I want to thank the board for all their support. We got Kathy here, who's been a lifelong board member. We have quite a few people here. Barry, we got a few other people here. I'm sorry, Sandra, I'm sorry, Sandra's here. We have Susan. So we have a lot of the board members here, and I want to thank you guys for all your support, and we're going to do a great job and look forward to the next few years at the chamber. Thank you.
So just really quickly, if you are a Bronx Chamber of Commerce board member, can you raise your hand? These are our proud leaders of the Bronx Chamber of Commerce, and we are so happy that we have them on our side. Secondarily, before we get to eat and hopefully drink, I told our staff that after the program they could each have a whiskey or something. But I would be remiss if we don't set the table for helping each other with the cheapest thing we can ever do, right? Are you a business? Yes or no? Yeah. I couldn't hear you. Are you a business? Okay. Do you have digital media? Yeah. Right. Okay, if you don't, Derry, can you stand up real quick? If you don't have digital media, he will hunt you down, break your legs, and then set up your social media for you. Yes. The best thing that we can do for each other right now, it takes a split second. When you go and meet someone, follow them on Instagram, Twitter, etc. It is the way of following the world now, right? And it costs you nothing but 2 seconds. It is your gift to a business, it is your gift to the Bronx Chamber of Commerce, and it is your duty as being a good business person in New York City. So please do that. Without further ado, I want to again thank our amazing team at the Rambling House. For being an anchor for all that is Irish. I think that there's also a passport check stand here at the front door. A special shout out to Peter and his dad for all their work today. A thank you to our Deputy Bronx Borough President, Gianni Pigotto. Gianni's amazing, and she's off tonight, so she can have drinks and have shenanigans. There we go. And to the amazing Chamber team. Can our Chamber team give a huge wave? I know you guys all got acknowledged before, but our team really makes it tick. So, that being said, network, exchange business cards. Lisa will be up here after one more drink for speed networking, so be careful. But have some fun, exchange stories, and most of all, exchange your business ideas. Thank you so much for everything today. Thank you.